Why won't people change? You get this feeling like the world has changed, but our team, our division, our organization hasn't, and they have not adapted. We have not adapted. The frustration is real, and so is the danger of not adapting to the new world that we live in. I believe there are 5 things leaders can do today to help drive change in their team, in their organization, and in helping their people move forward. Number 1, give people a wake-up call. People are more open to change when their normal, everyday patterns of activity are thrown out the window. If you want people to be receptive to change, you have to give them a certain shock to the system. You have to wake them up. You have to interrupt the usual pattern of thinking and activity. Do something completely unexpected. Call an emergency meeting and hold it at an unusual time, like 7 a.m. This wakes up people, literally. Show them how the world has changed and how it's affecting your organization. It doesn't matter what department they're in. Everyone needs to see how the change in the world is impacting the organization. It doesn't have to be negative or a doomsday scenario, but it's got to be real. It must be brutal and it must be honest. People value the truth, so give it to them. Be transparent. Show them that the health of the organization is declining. Show them how other companies are changing their offerings. Show them how the customers have changed. Show them example after example of how everyone's lives are so different today than only 5 years ago. Facts and slides are good, but what really matters is connecting emotionally with people. One way to give people that wake-up call is to show them a taste of reality. Either take them to the outside and meet customers, competitors, stakeholders, or regulators, or bring the outside in. Bring in people that have stopped buying from you. Bring in people who will reinforce your message that the world has changed. Why? Why do we do this? Because nothing moves people to understand reality like a face-to-face conversation with a customer who doesn't buy your product anymore. That is a sense of reality. All right, number 2, establish a sense of urgency. In the absence of a looming threat, people will do what they've been doing, and nothing will change. Without a compelling force of urgency that is significant and authentic, people will not change. As a leader, you yourself might feel the urgency and thought you've done a good job of communicating that urgency, but you're likely overestimating it. People fall back into their usual routines without a constant drumbeat of reality chasing after them. So communicate that wake-up call, that sense of urgency frequently. Start every conversation with the following: the world has changed, and now it's our turn. One way to create a sense of urgency is to talk of a potential crisis, or even a great opportunity that is looming in the short term. Talk about timelines honestly, talk about revenue shortfalls, talk about market share loss, talk about gaining new business. Be clear and be specific, because you're going to need the support of all these people to make a massive change. Without a passionate plea, your effort is not going to get you anywhere. All right, number 3, show them what's in it for them. Connect the need to change with them individually. Remember, most people care about their own livelihood and that of their family. Not what's necessarily what's good for the company, but what's good for them. Some people don't make that connection between the company and them. And by connecting the organization's need for change with them and their job and their career and their growth and ultimately their life, you have a better chance of inspiring them to change. That becomes their why. Show people the downside of not changing, not just the loss of business for your organization, but their livelihood. Don't assume people connect the change in the organization with the change affecting their own livelihood. People don't make that connection. Some people think that the change that the company has to make has nothing to do with them. That's above my pay grade. That's not my problem. Sure, they might have seen an organizational announcement or some key management changes with different names and titles of people, but those changes don't really impact them. The changes made at the top don't connect with most people and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. So tell people why they need to change and how their future is at stake, because it is. All right, number 4, show them a compelling and clear vision. What are you changing towards? What does a promising future look like? How will their actions change their job or the prospects of the company? Show them the vision of what you're trying to do. Show them, make it visual to what you're trying to achieve. What makes change so difficult for people is that they cannot imagine a positive future, only a negative one. That's just how the mind works. So as a leader, that's what you have to do. You have to help people see that change because they're going to move towards that. Show them that vision. Draw it out, map it out. Tell them it'll be worth it. They'll be in a better place because of that change. Helping people visualize success and what that looks like is crucial because it gives people something to move towards, something to aspire to. Not knowing where that proverbial bus is headed makes people nauseous. And even if you don't know exactly where you're headed, that's okay as a leader. Just give a sense of direction. We all want to move forward. And by showing people that vision of an organization moving forward, you will help inspire the change. Number 5, empower action. Talking is simply not enough. Empower them to act now. Ask them to act. Ask them to be bold. Ask them for their help. Give them opportunity to make small changes in the way they do things, from tiny steps of holding meetings differently, or how you engage customers, to your website, for example, or how it will become leaner and simpler to navigate. Or just reducing bureaucracies, such as stopping Friday teleconferences that might be a waste of time. One way to empower action is to ask them to do one thing differently in the next 24 hours. Just one thing, and get everyone talking about it. Just that one thing. And then guess what? Celebrate it. Tiny actions day by day, week by week is the way you're going to get a massive change in the organization on your way to success. And so getting your people to take daily action is critical. All right, let me summarize. Inspiring your colleagues, your employees, or your teams to change requires 5 things. Number 1, give them a wake-up call. Number 2, create a sense of urgency. Number 3, show what's in it for them. Number 4, give them a clear and compelling vision. Number 5, empower action. All right, one last thing. Adapting your organization to change is not a one-off memo. It's a constant and vigilant communication that has to reach everyone. You must continue reminding people of the goals and the need to take action for the future of success of not just the organization, but themselves. And you have to do it every single